Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Jillian. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. It's a beautiful day. I think it's interesting. I get a lot of different private messages, emails, through my business page or through my email address that I have posted publicly. And some are like really mean and all that stuff. And others are like, oh, yeah, I have a testimony that I want to give you. And here's some pictures and everything. And I'm just like, okay. And they give me a whole story about stuff. And, you know, the whole point of being on Jelly Juice is to see through bullshit. Though I want to believe everybody, but you can't believe everybody. But here are the indicators to know if someone's BSing you, especially around the Jelly Juice and regrowing limbs and organs and digits if you were born without them or they were cut off in an accident. The body, okay, has lived without a finger for the longest time. If you have a missing digit or a missing leg or arm or extremity, and you have obesity issues and you have other issues that are going on, your obesity issues and your other issues that people can actually see, the aesthetics, would be dealt with first before you would grow your finger. Because a body is not going to see your finger being regrowed as something imminent to deal with first. And I haven't been around for the last 5 years. Only since 2016 have I actually introduced this to where then the group was opened up in 2017. And then 2018 was when I was on Dr. Phil. So there's no way anyone would be able to regrow a finger with the timeline that I've been around, because you wouldn't be doing the protocol back in 2016 because it was hardly introduced. 2017, there was so much controversy. 2018, so much controversy. No one in their right mind would try to regrow a finger until they got more of the science, of which now I'm producing. So some major indicators as far as knowing if someone is actually bullshitting you or not is that you would know that, now you would know that your body is going to deal with the most imminent things. And obesity, cancer, disease, and chronic illness, and other maladies that you can actually see aesthetic-wise would be dealt with first. And then potentially you would get to that point where you would handle the pain of regrowing a digit if you even stayed on it that long or long enough. And you wouldn't be telling me this because you would be afraid of the backlash. Okay, you could tell me this, but I wouldn't know how to vet you out. There'd be no way for me to believe really anything that people say that I've never worked with. That's why my group is small, because I don't allow strangers in that haven't bought the book. But even then, I don't know who people are. But I work with enough people to know, okay, what their situation is. And there is nobody in my group that I know of right now that is missing a finger. There was one lady in my group who has since got off the protocol, and is now actively promoting CBD oil. And I did kick her out yesterday, totally into the holistic world, where she had a son that had his finger cut off, or like a little tip of it cut off. She said a couple months back that she was going to try to give the Jelly Juice protocol to him to see if it would regrow. Haven't heard anything back from her. But she's probably actively giving her kid CBD oil. So most likely her kid is not going to heal at the level that she expects because she's giving her kid or herself CBD oil. Okay. So that's the only person that I know of that would have some kind of issue where a person could potentially prove in a very small, superficial way that you could regrow a digit. A little tip of the finger being cut off. That's it. Okay, so there's nobody in my group that has a missing digit, a missing limb, maybe some missing organs. Maybe people had, appendectomies, or they're missing thyroid. And there's people that have that, but I haven't heard anything as far as it being regrown. But then, who knows? And I'm hoping someday somebody can materialize x-rays and have a history of where they had no thyroid and no organ, and now they have it. Though we have heard in other circumstances that ovaries have been regrown and they weren't doing the Jelly Juice protocol. So the body has the ability to regrow limbs and organs, or have those small things like ovaries regrow, but the actual potential right now, has, for as long as we've been around, is basically slim to none. Okay. So I just want, people to understand this in case anyone wants to make those kind of claims that they regrew something, on the jelly juice, and they still have obesity issues. They still have other issues going on. Okay. And so, so that's how I know they're BSing. But even then, for as long as I've been around, there is absolutely no way someone could regrow a whole digit and still be obese and still have other issues. Okay. Not saying it's altogether impossible, but when I looked at her hand closer and I saw Photoshop, Photoshop is not that difficult to go and do, but I saw how puffy her hand was. Let me tell you, the body would take care of the puffiness in her hand before it would regrow that finger. Okay? Because that's how the body determines the most severe situation first, and it takes care of that first. And regrowing the bone and all the skin around that would be something way down the road. It wouldn't be within the immediate future. Okay, so just FYI for all of you that are wondering, well, how long would it take for someone to regrow a digit? It would take probably years, because you'd have to get through all the other 11 different systems and issues in your 11 different systems before that would actually regrow. Okay, so a little bit of logic, a little bit of sense. I don't believe everybody when they say, this stuff, especially through private messenger or through my business page, especially when they talk about Dr. Phil, because everyone that watches Dr. Phil, that is that's what they saw, and they're not really in the holistic world or even in the allopathic. Well, they're in the allopathic, but they're not really in the holistic world, and they're kind of one of those mainstreamers that just like to make fun of people. I can tell who my trolls are. They're pretty obvious. And so I knew that this was a little bullshit, but I was like, hey, I'll be nice. Hey, great, congratulations. But I know that my gut told me that this person was blowing smoke up my ass. But I want you guys to understand that that's kind of how it works with the human body. Okay, because there were things that I had to deal with that were put on the back burner as far as my healing process, because there was more imminent issues that had to come first. Okay, so okay, cool. Okay, all right. Someone messaged me back. Okay. Cool. Okay. So I know the body will determine what is the most severe before it actually goes to actually regrowing an extremity. Okay. So it would be years and years and years and years before it would happen to where you actually regrow something like that. When someone in my group that wouldn't even do the jade juice at the level that they should, even with the pink juice or the pink salt, wouldn't even, allow their child to regrow the tip of their finger, and they're probably applying CBD oil to that kid, tells me that not everybody is ready to really, truly heal like that. So if somebody has like a paralysis or missing, digits and organs and all that stuff, and they're adverse to pain, and they want to be in that whole anesthetization, drugged out type of state, there's no way they're going to do the J juice to see it through to that point. There's no freaking way. So it's one of those where that's how the body works. Because you guys seen it. Not everything gets taken care of right off the bat when you're doing the J juice. It happens in stages. And it's like a biochemical triage. The most severe case, like when you go to a hospital, like an ER, it's triage, okay? The body works the same way, because if you were to heal all at once, everything, 100%, you would be a mess in so much pain hey, I wish it could happen that you could be in pain for 5 minutes, like intense, excruciating pain for 5 minutes, and then be totally 100% healed. But that's not how it works, because that would be torturous to somebody. Okay, so the body has to heal in stages. It doesn't happen all at once. So that's why people have to understand that it takes time to go through the upgrading process, the healing process, that it's not something that happens right away, and you have to be patient, and you have to make the time, because you still have to deal with all of your priorities, going to work, taking care of your kid, taking care of your husband, doing all of the things that you said you were going to do, and do this at the same time. Okay, so it's like it's a balancing act, it's a juggling act, and if you are lucky enough to put 100% in the J juice, then you should be healing pretty quick. like, like really quick. We should be seeing some results. If you have 90 something percent of the time, and some of you, have a lot of issues, but you can only go as slow as you can only go so far as the JJs, because the healing is very, very painful. But some of you are young, and maybe you're on disability, or not disability, because that would mean that you have a lot of issues. But some of you may have a more of a lax schedule, and you can put the time to this, which means that you can heal faster. But you have to do the white salt. You have to stay with the protocol, whatever that is, which is basically understanding your indicators, so you're not overfeeding the fungus that's then undermining your ability to process your food and keep everything at bay. Okay, so it's just, there's a lot of factors that contribute to an accelerated healing process. You got to listen to your body, mind, and spirit. And, and if you don't, then you're going to ignore the indicators, and you're like, oh yeah, now Jill says I could eat anything I want. And so they're eating all of this. Let's say they're drinking all this milk and has a lot of hormones, and they have a hormonal imbalance, and they're getting all this mucus. And that tells them that maybe they should stay away from the milk for temporary until they can get their hormones balanced out. Okay, so if you ignore the indicators, it's going to be very difficult to heal at an accelerated rate, because people don't listen to their body. So now I don't want to say, any specific diet. And that's why the whole protocol has changed to where now everybody, because we know everybody is different. Everybody has different allergies and different issues. And so I can't very well say, well, stay away from carbs, stay away from this, because some people are so skinny that they need the carbs, and they need the J juice, and they need the micro and macronutrition and all that stuff. Okay. And they need the red meat. So now I'm saying, okay, you eat whatever the hell you want, but now you have to determine what is appropriate for you based upon your mucus. And so, one of my stories is that I went to a bar, ate some food a couple years ago. I reintroduced certain foods too fast, and ate some really high, processed, I ate some fried food, and maybe the peanut oil or something really disagreed with me, and I had all this mucus as if I got sick. And so I was home going like, oh my God, I can't believe I ate that, whatever. I think, oh God, it's poison. That's when I was thinking that, these certain foods were poisonous. But no, it's not that they're poisonous. It's the fact that I had still imbalances, and that the mucus was the indicator to let me know that maybe right now it's too early to reintroduce fried foods, that maybe you should wait. And then I waited, and I stayed away from that food for a certain amount of time. And then I went back to that food, 6 months later, and guess what? No mucus. My body was able to handle it because I was releasing the excess antibodies that would cause mucus. So when I was exposed to that food that had the overabundance already in my body, it would then create more mucus because it's trying to release the excess. So that's how you guys have to determine, what is appropriate for you as far as food-wise, so you can heal faster. But if you're not paying attention to your body, mind, and spirit, and you are so busy being distracted with everything else out there, and you're not taking care of yourself and your kids and your family, then you will ignore the indicators and you won't heal. Or you won't upgrade your body at the level that you expect from what you've seen as far as all of the testimonies. Okay? So that's my lesson for the day. You guys, make it great. Bye.